Yeah, basically, man, I was born in Langston, South Carolina, 1982. Um, Sharon and Cleophas White, they're my parents. I mean, growing up in the country, I mean, it wasn't really tough, but it was hard. Cause we had to cut our own wood, we had animals, we had to feed chickens, eggs. It basically was a transition from being in the city. Cause I went to Langston High School when I should have been going out here. Y'all have to excuse the livestock. But yeah, it was a transition that I had to go through from being from the country and being in the city, you know what I'm saying? So, things was a little different. Like I say, most of my influences, I grew up off of Bone Thugs and Harmony, Prince, Tupac. Those are like some of the influences that influenced me to rap. I mean, I've been doing this thing. I got a musically inclined family. My daddy, he was a DJ, singer, and all of that. I basically been doing this. I had my first studio session in like 1990, I want to say like 1995, 96 with Diamond Cut Records. Shout out to Derek Waiters. And, I had progressed from there. Had met up with Avery Simmons, X-Man, Enemy Territory. And, we transitioned from a lot of ways to the point the way that's what I wanted to do, music. I mean, that's what I want to do, music. I mean, I love music and I love being in the country now. I'm in my own lane as far as just being an artist because I feel like I got my own lane because I am from the country and I can't tell y'all stuff that I haven't did. I mean, I can rap about anything, but I'm gonna keep it real in all aspects. And I just glad that get your butt back over there. You better. And basically, I'm just gonna keep it real in all aspects, man. And I'm gonna do my thing regardless of what anybody else has to say. Yeah, now, like I said, it is that, man. I do agree with Chris Breezy on a lot of things about this thing that he had tweeted here a while back. Since you asked the question, I do think the government is kind of fucked up right now, and I try not to participate in a lot of politics because politics ain't what I do. My damn cow's about to get your ass back. You ain't gonna get out of there. But yeah, like I say, I kind of agree with Chris Breezy on a lot of stuff, man. The government is twisted, and I'm not really a politician, but I do believe the world could be better in a sense if everybody, because the nation is bigger than the government, if you ask me. So I figured, if the nation come together, we can override a lot of stuff. I'm about to have a power movement, man. I'm about to have a nation, a mob of country niggas, city niggas, finna ride, and we finna do this thing regardless of what anybody else say or do. And that's just how I feel about it. I'm a man, and that's what a man do. A man hold his own. I don't need no help from nobody. My pride ain't too big to ask for it, but I do believe that in the future, that this nation gonna click together. And I ain't saying go around and fuck up the city, but I'm just saying I do believe that this nation is gonna click up here sooner or later to be one. And that's what it's all about, being one. It's a challenge being an artist, being from the country. I done had to overcome a lot of stuff, man, as far as staying where I stay at, living how I live. A lot of people sell drugs, they do what they do. Not saying I haven't tried none of that stuff, but a lot of stuff wasn't fit for me. So I had to do different avenues, sell goats, cow meat, anything that's pertaining to the country that pertains to me. I feel like that's the best for me and my family. I got two beautiful kids that I love to death, and I want them to grow up, knowing about the country, because I can take my country tactics to the city and still survive. I mean, it's not nothing. I mean, I got everyday challenges that I would say the most difficult thing I have to deal with is myself. I'm a Gemini, and I feel like I play two parts of my life in a role, and I can't help it because I look around at a lot of other people. Other people doing stuff positive, some people doing stuff negative, which is not my business. I grew up in a house with my mom, my dad, my little brother, little K.O. I got two more brothers, Kevin, Tyrell, You know, he doing a little bid right now. He coming home soon. I mean, we grew up in a nice house, a nice environment. You know what I'm saying? Not saying we had to struggle for anything, because I was blessed, really. But it was times where we ain't had no water, we ain't had no lights. Because, I mean, everybody go through a struggle. But my dad, he tried his best to keep us above water, which he did do that, and I commend him for that. He like my hero. Actually, he like one of my inspirations also, as far as the music and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I can't judge nobody off of nothing that they do. You know, him and my mom, they didn't make it too long with their marriage. You know, I thought things were gonna be different for me too, so as far as relationship-wise, you know, that's a good question, man. Relationship-wise, right now, you know, I am single. You know, I did a lot of things in my life that I ain't proud of, that I should have been better at, but I wasn't. And, you know, I just want to say to all the young brothers and sisters, you know, if you got somebody special, you need to hold on and do right by it. You know, because niggas always on their job, man. They always looking for an employee. You know, I wasn't on my job, and, you know, I wasn't on my job. Another man was, and that's good. You know, I gave him my 9 to 5, you know. But anyway, right now, man, I'm just not worried. I'm not focused on nothing right now but my music, my country career, because, you know, in the future, you know, I am going to own my own ranch, and I'm gonna do a lot of other things, help the community, which is a big part of what I want to do. So it's like a big gumbo pot for me right now. Yeah, and I also want to send a big shout out to my Tennessee family, the James family, Mr. Stephron, Mama Gwen, Bianca, Darren, AJ, Marcus, and Samantha. You know, I had went to Tennessee for a while, and you know, they looked out for me. You know, they treated me like they own, which that is my family. And I just like to give them a big shout out and just know that, you know, when things do get right, you know, I got your back, and I'm glad you had my back. And like I said, this is like I really can't explain the things that need to happen in the world, and I can't explain the things that don't need to happen in the world, because I ain't got control over it. I mean, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus. A lot of people don't, which that's not my business neither. But I do want to stress and emphasize that the world need to do better on a lot of stuff. And, you know, Lancaster being my city, which I grew up on the outskirts of Lancaster, which is Heath Springs. Got to give a shout out to Heath Springs, man. Heath Springs, I had my back for a long time. You know, all my family down there. You know, I got family everywhere, really. And I commend them for helping me out with a lot of other stuff. And, you know, I'm just gonna move forward. I just like to thank Mud TV for this exclusive interview, which, you know, it's gonna be like in 3 parts. I had to have an industry. That's a good question, man. If I was to collaborate with somebody in the industry right now, I probably would try to see could I get like Bone for one. You know, that's my favorite group of all time. I probably would want to do something with Bone, Crazy Bone especially. You know, T.I. You know, that's my nigga. You know, T.I. Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa, most definitely Wiz Khalifa. You know what I'm saying? And as far as local artists, I really want to work with everybody that's in Lancaster, man. You know, if given the opportunity to do that, you know, I want to work with everybody, man, because I commend Lancaster what they doing. You know, I looked at the We Are Lancaster movement, and, you know, the LA Fever. I like to give a shout out to Certified. I'm a little skinny nigga battling lions. That's all I can tell you. You know, I'm a little nigga with a big heart. You know, I'm not worried about nothing else.
So let me ask you this: when you started in the music game, like, who basically? I know you said Bone Thug influenced you, but like, who locally did anybody locally influence you?
Well, if I had to say somebody locally influenced me, man, like I said, I would say it'd be my daddy, man, because I would say my pops, because, you know, I done been to his shows as a kid. He had records out on records when I was coming up. You know, I done listened to him. I would say he would have been the biggest influence in my life, because actually when I started rapping, me and Gusto, Tony Gusto, which he stay on New Hope Road with me, you know, me and him, you know, we used to link up as kids, you know, with tapes, with little tape recorders, and we used to record little lyrics and, you know, and do our little thing. And which, like I say, I'll say my daddy has been the most influenced locally. Me and Gusto, we hooked up, we did a couple things, and I really didn't acknowledge no local artists at the time, because at that time it really wasn't a lot of local artists doing anything besides, you know, like X-Man, Derek Waiters, like I said, and which was Diamond Cut Records at the time. And I met Jamel Young, which is Melly Matrix, aka Johnny Boy, aka, he got a lot of AKA names, but you know, when I met him, and then, you know, come to find out we was family, we clicked up, and it's just been like that ever since. And then, you know, I got my own studio, start collaborating with different artists. Shout out to Rigid, with RNS, Bonus, Avalanche, who else? T Street. You know, it's just a lot of artists who came through and built, you know, it built me better.
All right, so what made you want to do the movement you doing now?
Well, that's a really good question. Honestly, man, what made me want to do what I'm doing now, full-fledged how I am, because I had kind of dropped off the map for a while, because, you know, this rap shit wasn't really paying no bills, man. And, you know, I was working, which I still are working, you know, scrapping and, you know, doing my animal thing. But as of this point, KMD, One Love, you know, that's my motivation right now, man. And that's really what got me, that was like a kick behind me. And I hate it took a female to do that, but I mean, it is what it is. But that's really one of the biggest parts of me wanting to do the movement, how I got it going now, because that just inspired me so much to show her and to show everybody else, well, I ain't lost nothing, you know.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask you a real serious question right now. This is something serious, and I know stuff happens in the past, and you should leave the past in the past, but
Right.
in the same sense, man, and like I said, I hate to bring this up, man, but I just want to know, you went through a tough time in the past, man, with your daughter, you know what I'm saying, that passed away, rest in peace.
Right.
How did you handle that? Like, what got you through that? Who was your support? I mean, what did you do to get through that time?
Well, my support system at that time was her mother and my family. You know, they got in God, number one. And you know, you can't question God on nothing. But I did feel kind of funny and strange, like, you know, why me? But I handled it in a lot of different ways too. You know, I prayed about it, I cried about it. You know, smoking and drinking was a big part of it too, just to kind of clear my mind with, you know, that's something negative, but you know, you can't, everybody do certain stuff. And you know, so you can't knock me for what I do. And it was a tough time for me and her and my family. Like you say, rest in peace, Kamali, I love you. But as far as like just dealing with that pain, man, I really had never been through no pain like that. You know, my grandmother passed here 4th of July, and it kind of brought back memories of to the day that Kamali died. When you lose somebody that close, you really don't know how to deal with stuff like that. You just have to kind of let it go how it goes. You know, time heals all wounds.